Confidence in Mediumship, Part 3. And now Part 3 is really all about just do it. This is what I mean by just do it. And here's the thing. Everybody has to kind of find that time within themselves. That's going to be different for every person. But I'm really just sharing my own personal experience. And what I will say is all of this is in sequence for a reason. It started with confidence within who I was. Then I had training and exposure to things that scared me in a safe training environment. And then Part 3 was how I was able to start inching out into the things that scared me within the outside world. And I would just say, do this in stages. I am not saying do the scariest thing imaginable first thing. I would much rather have you do this in steps. That's really what I did. So I would say, reach out to a local metaphysical shop that you've always liked. Reach out to a local businesses that you enjoy, or maybe that you have friends that work at. Things like that, and say, hey, I'd like to offer readings here, maybe as a pop-up. Reach out to some local psychic fairs if you want to try something like that. That's what I started with. Something that I did a lot back then too was I would find these places that I was interested in maybe doing something at. I would write the email and then I would send it with my eyes closed and then I'd just close my computer and I would go on with my day and try to forget about it. And I think this is a really good thing to do because when we put ourselves out there and when we make these connections with other people, we then have responsibility. And it's much harder to say no to that. It puts you in a place of needing to say yes if somebody says yes to your offer. So it gives you this level of commitment where you gotta do it whether it scares you or not. And that's really what I did every time. So I would make this first step and then I would do it. And I'm not saying it always went amazing. Some of them were not great, right? But I did it. And every time I did it, my confidence went up. And I felt less afraid to try these other things that I had always avoided. Every time I did something on that list and I realized, hey, I didn't die, I again would be able to go down my list and see where I wanted to go next. The other thing is don't be surprised if some of these opportunities just start to find you, which is very much what happened to me. And it's really the spirit world being like, okay, you're telling me that you're ready, so here you go. I like saying to students that doing these things is very much like having a scary room that has no lights on in your house that you have never gone into, you're terrified of, and then finally you turn the lights on and there's nothing in it. That was very much how that started to feel for me. I would be so nervous, so anxious, right? And then I would do it and I'd be like, okay, that really wasn't that bad, right? And here's the other thing that is really true about mediumship. The more you expose yourself to these different situations, you're going to encounter challenges, you're going to encounter different things that you otherwise would not know how to handle. And that's where experience is crucial in mediumship. There's so many situations that you're not going to be able to learn about in a bubble, right? You got to kind of do that by putting yourself out there. One of the things that I used to do a lot during this time too is I would just tell myself, this is what I do. Of course I'll say yes. It's my job. And that seems ridiculous, right? But it helped me. It was just that kind of fake it till you make it kind of thing. And I also would always approach these things from the heart, knowing that if your heart is in it and you're doing this for the right reasons, that should be your focus, not trying to blow people's minds or, impress them with all your skills, right? That's always going to let you down, honestly, and it's going to keep you anxious. So if we can remember to stay from the heart with this and just push ourselves enough to get to those next steps, you're going to be amazed by the change in your confidence. And it's just remembering that things that are easy often don't really give you any results. And it's annoying, but it's so worth it. So those are my 3 core components of gaining confidence in mediumship. As always, if there's something more that you'd like to add, I would love to hear it. And I will see you super soon.